Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Aaron Surrey, here to open up on this gorgeous Wednesday evening here with those bright color sunset there behind the Doak Campbell Stadium there. Currently 65 degrees under sunny skies. Really beautiful evening this evening here across Tallahassee. And those winds really very, very light at north at 5 miles per hour. Tonight's temperatures are going to drop down into the lower 40s across much of the region, even some upper 30s by the time you get over towards southwest Georgia, and then into the middle to upper 40s by the time you get towards the Appalachian Bay. Tomorrow's temperatures are going to remain relatively temperate around this time of year, 71 degrees under partly cloudy skies, winds out of the south at 8 miles per hour. And now for tonight's headlines, snow blankets the west coast here, so talk a lot about that, and of course the atmospheric river that's been going on over there. We also have the Severe Weather Week, Awareness Week here in Florida, and then also we'll take a trip down to Miami on this Wednesday. All that and more on FSU Weather.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Good evening, and welcome into the 15-minute late tech difficulty show of FSU Weather.
That's right. We're having a great show for y'all tonight. Of course, we had, like as you mentioned, the technical difficulties, but we're 15 minutes, I would say, still with a good show.
Hey, 15 minutes late. We're a college newscast, so I think we're doing quite all right, figuring 15 minutes is 15 minutes, right? Day 3 of Severe Weather Awareness Week. So, I mean, this morning we had our statewide tornado drill.
That's right. I did not partake in that, although I know I should have probably done that. It's a good thing to partake in every single year, of course, when we have that, as we are in Severe Weather Awareness Week here across Florida. Did you partake in it?
I did not either, but it is a good time to kind of remind yourself on where to go in case you find yourself under tornado warning. Obviously, as severe weather season approaches, this is kind of a severe weather season for Florida. Kind of February, as we get later into the month, is when we've historically seen some large tornado outbreaks in Florida. So having, an idea of where to go, and also, say, you're on campus or wherever you're at and find yourself under tornado warning, it is a good idea to know where to go.
That's right, and of course, in El Nino years, when we have the best chance, climatologically speaking, I've seen that severe weather here, at least across Florida, and for the most part, most tornadoes here in Florida aren't going to be the strong ones you tend to see out in the plains, or if you've ever seen the movie Twister, that was a massive one, especially the very last tornado, but we tend not to see those ones here. We tend to see more smaller, short-lived tornadoes, and of course we'll talk more about that shortly.
Yeah, we'll have a whole segment on it. We'll be talking about lifestyle, and of course we'll be talking about Miami. If you're taking a trip down there, we have your forecast covered for the next couple days. But let's start off with a local look with Nikki.
Thank you so much, guys. As Aaron said earlier, look at how beautiful the sunset is. The colors are so bright and beautiful. I'm so glad that the sun is setting later and later every single day. I really did not enjoy the getting dark at 5 p.m. thing. Not my favorite personally, but absolutely gorgeous day. 65, very mild, a little breezy as I was walking to the studio today, but it seems like it might have calmed down. 5-mile-an-hour winds. Right now, today, it was 68 degrees, and the low was 33, almost freezing. I don't like the big temperature change because when I leave for class in the morning, it's really cold, but then when I get out of class, I'm sweating on my way home, which is also not my fave. But right now, it's 65, so absolutely gorgeous time to go out and watch the sunset. Maybe go eat dinner outside with your friends, or go out. 59 in Valdosta, 55 in Thomasville, so around the high 50s, mid 60s all around the Big Bend region. And it's been pretty dry today as well, with a 34 dew point in Tallahassee, Monticello, and as we go a little further up in Thomasville, 31, and down by the coast, it's a little bit more moist at 41. And it's been, as I said, a little bit breezy. Earlier, about an hour ago, it was 10 miles an hour, but now it's 5. So the wind's starting to settle down around Tallahassee, but 6 in Quincy, maybe you don't want to blow away, but I don't think it'll happen today. You should be safe from blowing away from the ground. And the satellite's looking pretty clear as well, just a little bit of backscatters, but you're seeing the green stuff. But no rain today. Very dry day, as we saw from the dew points. So don't have to worry about bringing your umbrella out tonight. And as we go into tomorrow, you can see as it drops down into the 40s, but then back again. The sun will be out and beautiful, and it's going to be another gorgeous day, 66 degrees in the sun. It'll be so nice if you want to get some lizard time, as they say. Sit out on a nice rock in the sun. That's one of my favorite activities. If you're watching some high school sports tonight, Charles is looking very beautiful outside. If you're playing maybe soccer, I think is probably the season for. It'll be a great night to go out and support a local team. And tomorrow, if you're going to be walking your dog or just walk to class, you know, as I said, in the morning it's always cold. Recently, I shouldn't say always, but it's going to be 41 if you have an 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. It's going to be in the 40s, so just make sure you're aware of that. Maybe wear some layers, so then when you get out of class at, say, 11, you won't be sweating on your way home like I was today. And tonight, as I've been saying, it's going to drop down and be chilly once again, 41 degrees here, and in the 40s all around the Big Bend region as well. And tomorrow, as I said, beautiful, beautiful day. Make sure you go outside and hang out with your friends, study on Landis, do whatever pleases you. Yeah, but we should be experiencing some beautiful temperatures, but then come to the end of the weekend and into Monday, it is going to be raining, so appreciate it while you can. But what's the rest of Florida looking like?
Thanks, Nikki. The rest of Florida is looking pretty mild as far as temperatures are concerned. Right now, we do have gorgeous sunsets all over the area. Jacksonville, Pensacola, Tampa, and Orlando are all experiencing pretty mild temperatures, our lowest being Jacksonville with 50 degrees. Here in Tallahassee, we are seeing 65 degrees, and in Pensacola is our sunniest spot on the Florida map with a 57-degree temperature over there. In Miami, it is 71, and over here in West Palm Beach, we are at 67 degrees. Most of our moisture is in the lower peninsula of Florida, but we are seeing some drier temperatures and drier dew points here in the Panhandle. 37 as a dew point in Pensacola and 34 in Tallahassee, so those are relatively far from our current temperature, hence those really dry conditions we are experiencing up here. But as usual, our southern Florida friends are experiencing a little bit more of a moist, more humidity in the area. For the entire state, though, for the next few days, we are going to be pretty sunny. We don't have really any rain on the radar for the next 24 hours, maybe some scattered showers into the southern region. As you can see right off the coast of Miami, there is a slight rain shower coming in, but nothing to really be concerned about. Pensacola on Saturday and Friday, those are going to be your days of rain, 80% on Saturday in Pensacola. Jacksonville, we're looking at really nice temperatures, really warm actually from what we have been experiencing. 70 on Thursday, 76 on Friday, and 78 on Saturday. So we're really pretty sunny on the eastern coast of Florida. Tampa as well, we are looking really warm, 78 as our highs on Friday and Saturday, and really sunny. So these are going to be the days to get out to the beach if you have been wanting to do so there in Tampa. Orlando, pretty similar to Jacksonville and Tampa. We are seeing that sunshine come back and some really high temperatures. Saturday, we're looking at 79 in Orlando. So if we are going to Disney World or anything like that, you will be seeing some pretty warm temperatures to do so. Miami looking slightly cooler actually than the previous cities I mentioned. However, 76 is still an absolutely perfect temperature to hit the beach, hit the water, and it's going to be a lot of sunshine in those regions. Tonight, all across the area, we will dip into 40 degrees in Tallahassee, really 40s in the Panhandle, 48 Pensacola, 50 in Tampa, 63 and 60 in Key West and Miami. So really not too crazy of temperatures down south. However, I know for most folks in southern Florida, I know I am, 52 is quite chilly, so definitely bring a jacket really anywhere in Florida tonight, but especially this Panhandle region where we could dip into some 30s. For tomorrow, Tallahassee, 72. Tomorrow is going to be an absolutely gorgeous day here in the Panhandle. Like I mentioned, no storms in the forecast for the next few days. Pensacola, we're going to top off at about 67 degrees, and Jacksonville at 69. We are looking at pretty partly cloudy temperatures all across the state, 75 degrees in Miami and West Palm and Tampa. So we're seeing some perfect temperatures to get outside all across the state. No rain in the forecast for tomorrow. Key West is our sunniest point, and I'm not surprised. 74 degrees in Key West for tomorrow. So we are going to be seeing some really nice temperatures to get outside, but remember that moisture will definitely hang out in the southern region of Florida, but our panhandle should remain pretty dry for the next 24 to 48 hours. We're going to zoom things out and see how things are looking in the national.
That's right, national here. We're talking at least kind of a difference in terms of the weather here across much of the nation. We have those cooler temperatures off to the north, those relatively moderate temperatures off towards the center portions of the United States here. So 64 in Dallas, 61 in Memphis, and then of course here if we go out towards the west coast to our friends out in California, they are sitting in the 50s, and right now they're catching a bit of a break from that what we deem to call atmospheric river across southern Los Angeles here, or Southern California into Los Angeles, and of course San Francisco there is getting affected too. Our current dew points are a little bit on the drier side the further north you go. So here in Tallahassee, we're actually sitting pretty dry here in the 30s. It's pretty bone dry, so not something you don't really feel the air, if that kind of makes sense here. But as you go off towards the west here, you can see San Antonio in the 50s, and then even a little bit more muggy as you go down to Houston and along the Texas Gulf Coast here, where we have more of those greens indicating the more mugginess in the air. And the reason why we have that mugginess in the air is because we have kind of more moisture out aloft ahead of this upcoming system coming in here. You can see that spin right behind my head here around Montana, Billings here. That's what's going to be moving off towards the east, and along with it, we'll bring this moisture off towards our direction, so we'll have to watch for how this kind of interacts with our weather pattern over the next several days or so. And actually, kind of a tidbit here, this whole area of low pressure was actually what was affecting California a couple days ago with that atmospheric river. It's just kind of moving off the Rockies now, moving off towards the east, bringing the weather along with it too. However, unfortunately, that's not quite done yet along the west coast with that weather here, as we have the next system coming through here. We have those greens and those orange and reds there on radar going into the Central Valley and into the Sierra Nevada mountains there of California. And then off towards east here in the Central Plains, we have some rain showers down from about Iowa, Minnesota area down through about the Texas Panhandle. And then we have double highs here, double H's across the East Coast with really beautiful skies here. Of course, we see that's pretty evident here across Tallahassee this afternoon. Now, our storm outlook here for day one, we don't expect anything severe across much of the nation, but perhaps you might hear a rumble or two if you're out in the front ranges of the Rockies or upper into the Central Plains or even back into the Four Corners and into California, where you could potentially see perhaps a little lightning or two, but nothing severe, at least expected. Now, tomorrow, if you're in this little bullseye area near just off to the west, northwest of Chicago, there in southern Wisconsin, you might perhaps see an isolated chance of a stronger storm or two, but nothing really, at least matriculating, very much staying on the more milder side of way thunderstorms go. So our day three, that will eventually push off towards the southeast, and that's what we'll have to watch probably going into Friday and even into the weekend too here locally, as we have that system that's eventually going to move through, and we'll have to see how kind of that materializes here in terms of our weather forecast. Now, for active alerts, we are staying very clear across the East Coast, not until you get over towards the west where we have the active weather and those systems impacting the area. So we have a swath of winter storm advisories and warnings here from the Rockies, so just off to the west of Denver, down through western Colorado, the Four Corners, into near the Las Vegas region as well, and then also our friends up in Montana near Billings also getting affected too by some of this wintry weather that's kind of wrapping around that area of low pressure to the north. And then for our drought monitor, we actually improved significantly here across the southeast when we were at just a few weeks ago. That El Nino has really helped us bring in some of that, those areas of low pressure, kind of allowing more showers and storms to develop along the southeast. That's what really helped with our drought. Now, much of the drought here, at least across the country, is going to stay mostly off near El Paso here and off toward the western portions of Texas. Now, if you're curious about tomorrow's temperatures here, nationally, we have warming temperatures in the Central Plains with those cooler temperatures up in the northern Central Plains, and then those improving conditions off the west coast here. But Ryan, we'll take a quick look at our lifestyle. What's going on here in Tallahassee?
Yeah, taking a look around Tallahassee. Let's take a look outside. We've got, sunset just a few minutes ago, Lake Bradford, absolutely gorgeous shot over there. Panama City also, as the sun just kind of starts to fade out, those oranges start to work their way out. And if you got a rec game tonight over to Sportsplex or heading out to St. George Island, either way, we've got a good looking setup. We showed this Shaw's High School camera a little earlier. Nice night to be out and playing some soccer, football, rugby, lacrosse, whatever sport is going on right now at Shaw's High School. I definitely miss being in high school and going to high school sporting events. That was really fun because I always felt like the weather was perfect and it was nice to be out and about. Taking a look at tomorrow, we're just going to see overnight tonight and into tomorrow that some clouds start to work in. Our rain chance may creep up just a little bit. Some of these clouds might contain some precipitation, but it's not going to be anything big. Futurecast isn't even picking it up. But if you're going out to karaoke night tomorrow night, or tonight rather, 40 degrees, so definitely bring something that'll keep you a little bit warmer. But it's going to be a fun time singing all your karaoke classics, maybe some Toby Keith, just to pay tribute. Pour one out, Red Solo Cup. 68 degrees, partly cloudy skies if you're heading out to Stroger Library for this evening. And if you're thinking of what to wear, well, I would say, like Nikki mentioned, you got that morning class, so you're going to want something a little warmer. I know I have a class that starts at 9 a.m., and I'm probably going to be wearing like a hoodie or something. And then by lunchtime, that hoodie will be gone. I'll be back in t-shirt and shorts because it'll be 71 degrees. Nice day to be out and about. Nice day to go over and watch some women's basketball. They're playing up in Syracuse, so 40s for them. Dog walk forecast tomorrow morning. It's going to be a nice, cool start to the day, warming up to 60 by 11 a.m. And airport-wise, no major delays right now at Tallahassee International Airport. And across our flight board right now, all green, low planes to indicate no delays at any of our major airports, Atlanta, Dallas, LA, Denver. So if you're heading out for a drive tomorrow, 9 a.m., a little bit cool as we work our way towards lunchtime, 3 o'clock. We're going to warm up nicely. We do have a softball game tomorrow. Opening day, 64 degrees, and beautiful skies around around Tallahassee, rather. Tonight, 41 degrees in Tallahassee, 40 in Monticello, 41 in Valdosta. And the weekend ahead, we're looking absolutely gorgeous. 75 degrees by Friday, 76 by Saturday. It's going to be a great time to be out in Tallahassee. But let's talk about when it's not going to be as great, because this week is Severe Weather Awareness Week. Great weather across the state right now, but we do want to be prepared just in case that weather comes.
That's right. As we've been saying here, at least since the beginning of the show, it is indeed Severe Weather Awareness Week here across Florida. I didn't participate, as I mentioned earlier. Nikki, did you participate in Severe Weather Awareness Week yet?
I did a segment on my show yesterday, but I know that there was a tornado kind of drill type thing today that I unfortunately was not able to participate in.
Yeah, it's definitely really helps, of course, to try and train just in case you know what to do in the event of a tornado, of course. But we'll kind of dive deeper here, of course, with the Severe Weather Awareness Week. So, of course, we'll talk about thunderstorms and tornadoes. That's kind of the biggest thing here when it comes to severe weather. So, again, know the signs of a tornado. You need to look for a strong, consistent rotation in the cloud base. If you hear any loud train-like noise, it's also another sign, or any kind of whirling dust or debris around the ground or so. You don't want to go towards it. You want to go towards a shelter. That's probably the best advice we can give here.
Yeah, definitely go into an interior room. You definitely, if you're able to see a tornado, you should not be looking at it. You should be taking action and getting somewhere safe. Maybe if you don't have an interior room, maybe a bathroom with a bathtub, and you can put a mattress over your head, something like that.
That's right, or a helmet too works as well in that bathtub. And I will say in Florida, we tend not to have those basements, but if you do, of course, that'd be the best place to go. But an interior portion of their first or the ground level of your home is the more, I guess, the best place to go in the event of a tornado. But luckily, we don't experience, we tend not to experience those very large, damaging tornadoes like we see out in the plains.
Oh yeah, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful I haven't seen a tornado yet in my life, but you know, we do see a lot of thunderstorms. Florida is, I believe, the #1. We have the most thunderstorms out of anywhere in the States, so you always got to be prepared for that.
That's right. In fact, Tampa is actually the lightning capital of the United States, I believe, for lightning.
Yeah.
So definitely an interesting factoid about that. But again, it may not even need to be a tornado to cause damage. You can see straight line winds as well out of a lot of these thunderstorms that can cause just as much, if not more, damage than tornadoes.
Yeah, you definitely always have to be careful, especially during any type of severe weather. Make sure you're staying updated with Severe Weather Week, and just stay updated with weather in general, because places like the National Weather Service and other emergency alerts are definitely where you're going to get the best information. So, but let's go and talk about our spotlight city of Miami.
Thanks, Nikki and Aaron. It is definitely important that we keep updated on these severe thunderstorms, even though we might not be experiencing them here in Florida right now. But we are going to travel on over to Miami, Florida, where it is partly cloudy. They are seeing some 70s, mid-70s as their temperatures, as we saw a little bit earlier, with a light wind of 10 miles per hour. Right now, Miami is sitting pretty much exactly on average with their highs and lows, not at their record of 87 in 1939, which I'm sure everyone in Miami is pretty grateful for. Their high being 77 and their low today being 56. You are looking absolutely great today in Miami, right on average. For our day planner tomorrow, it is going to be actually perfect to be outside all day. If you do want to experience a little bit of colder air, I would definitely recommend getting out around 7 a.m. It will be cloudier at that point, 10% chance of rain, but really nothing too severe to look out for at all. 63 at 7 a.m. Noon, it will be about 74, and we'll end the evening at around 73 degrees and partly cloudy here in Miami. Our current dew points are relatively moist, but if you live in Miami, you are probably used to much more humid conditions than you're probably experiencing right now. Our dew points in Fort Lauderdale are 57, Miami Beach being a little bit higher, 58, but sitting in Miami, 51, that is pretty far away from their current temperature of about 75. So even though it might be a little bit more moist than we're feeling up here in the Panhandle, overall, relative to how Miami usually feels, I'm sure that's pretty dry. For the next few 24 hours, actually, like I mentioned earlier, there could be slight scattered showers tomorrow, but really nothing to be worried about at all. Really, we are looking pretty dry and really no rain in the forecast for Miami. For tonight, 67 in Miami, 63 in Hialeah, and 65 in Pembroke Pines. Key Biscayne is looking at 68. All of our temperatures here in Miami are quite mild, so it is going to be an absolutely perfect night to head out on the town if you are doing so in Miami. More deeper inland, though, at Coopertown, we're sitting at 61, slightly colder. For our weekend forecast in Miami, we are looking pretty nice. Our lows sitting in the high 60s, low 70s, but overall no rain in the forecast for this weekend. We're going to finish things off with another look at our local.
And the good thing is for this weekend up here in Tallahassee too, no rain in the forecast. As that sun kind of finally starts to disappear over Doak Campbell Stadium, what a gorgeous sight this is. We have a great camera that points out towards Doak Campbell Stadium. What an absolutely glorious end to the day. 58 degrees right now, clear skies as that sun finally starts to set and all across the area. Just gorgeous cameras, gorgeous kind of orange skies off towards Panama City and Lake Bradford, and radar nice and quiet today. And the radar is going to stay quiet the next few days. We are going to have some rain come in later into the next week. 59 degrees in Valdosta, 54 in Thomasville, 55 over in Donaldsonville, 65 over in Tallahassee, Apalachicola and Perry both singing the upper 50s. Overnight tonight, we are going to get into the 40s, some spots into the 30s, but for the most part, we're going to be kind of keeping that clouds around. That's going to keep us a little warmer. So I guess 40s is kind of relative at this point for warmth. Waking up and out the door tomorrow, 47 degrees. By about noon, lunchtime, it'll be 64 degrees. And then a couple showers might try to work their way in by about 3 o'clock tomorrow, 70 degrees. But I would say those showers are going to be pre-isolated. They're just going to be hiding within these clouds as we move through the day tomorrow. And really, Futurecast's not really picking up much. It's just more clouds that maybe a few of them will contain a couple of sprinkles within them as we work into the afternoon tomorrow. 72 degrees in Tallahassee and Monticello, 70 up in Thomasville, Bainbridge, 71 over in Quincy, 69 in South Shopee, and 65 in Apalachicola. So this week ahead, we are going to have a nice quiet weekend, 10% coverage of rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday we are going to work up our rain chances. But temperature is going to be slowly climbing until that rain arrives come Sunday night into Monday. That's when we're going to see our increased chance for showers and storms to work their way in. 71 degrees by Monday. We are going to want to pay attention to this line of showers and storms because, as Aaron mentioned earlier in the show, we are in an El Nino year. So some of these storms historically would get a little more strong given the El Nino and some of the factors that contribute to it. So we are going to be wanting to pay attention. And of course, stay tuned to FSU Weather. We'll keep you updated as these storms start to work their way towards the end of the weekend. But I would say for your start of the weekend, we're looking quite nice. And then once we get the rain out of the way come Monday, Tuesday, we do cool down back into the 60s for highs. But hey, the rain is finally going to clear its way out. Oceana, Nikki, what a show it's been. How about you guys wrap it up?
All right, there's a lot of stuff going on in this week into this weekend. The Super Bowl is this weekend. Hopefully, if there's a chance of rain, hopefully we don't get rained out if you're going to a Super Bowl party or anything.
Seriously, I'm not loving the chances of rain for Sunday, especially since we have the Tallahassee Marathon coming up. That's definitely not the best conditions, but
yeah. Personally, would not love to run in the weather. Not that I run in general, but in the rain, probably even worse.
Well, I'm just glad to see that the temperatures are going to work their way back down next week. following this rainy weekend. I saw 30s in there again, though. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I personally enjoy the weather, but it's kind of seeming like Puxatawny Phil was wrong last week when he said spring was coming early.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that here in Tallahassee, especially.
Yeah.
I feel like last year was a little bit warmer around this time. I don't know about it, Phil. Phil might have messed things up there.
Phil, we got to think about it. But make sure you follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather.
And like us on Facebook at FSU Weather.
Watch us on YouTube. That's what you're watching us on right now. But if you ever want to look at old videos or tell your friends to watch us.
And follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather too.
Yep, and TikTok as well. We have that. We will be posting some fun TikToks in the coming days, so make sure you're checking in on that.
Yep, so that was a wonderful show. I hope everybody has a great evening. I'm student meteorologist Oceana Hayden.
And I'm student meteorologist Nikki Kanakis. Have a great Wednesday night.